a second.
Okay. Hello, I'm Wayne Stevenson, and I am here with Danny and Tia Christati. They're both currently students at Biola University and immigrated from Bulgaria in their childhood. Danny and Tia, why did your guys' family decide to come to the United States in the first place?
Well, do you want
Yeah, okay, so my dad won the lottery, the green card lottery, and we were able to come to America, all of us.
How old were you guys when this happened?
I was 7, he was
to...
6.
So how was you guys' journey to the United States? What different challenges did you face? Did any cool stories happen? Anything like that?
Like the trip itself?
Yeah, the trip itself.
Well, it was interesting. I just remember being like a really big airplane. I remember also it was very cold that day when we moved. It was close to Thanksgiving. I think on that day, actually, Thanksgiving was on the day that we arrived.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember it was 2 suitcases each. Like, it wasn't a very big, like, you wouldn't think we're going, like, moving our entire lives. It was 2 suitcases each. It was very interesting. I was very young. I just remember being, I don't know. I was very short. I remember a funny experience when they, like, because at the airport you had to, like, bring your own documents to where they check it. And so I was really short, so I remember, like, putting them up, but they couldn't see me, and so I was like waving my documents, but like my documents weren't even like reaching the lady, so I was like really small because I was 6 years old. But
Yeah, so we actually almost missed our plane. Our family's known to be late, always, for everything. And so you would think that the day we moved our whole lives to America that we would not be late, but we were. And so the whole airplane had to wait for us for about 30 minutes, which was a miracle because you know how airplanes are always on time.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was totally a godsend because they were like, we called them and we were running from one part of the airport to the other just to catch our plane. And then we were all scattered throughout the airplane. We couldn't even sit together. And yeah, it was a good experience though. Like God definitely helped us push through it and get here.
So yeah, I mean, what were you guys' first impressions showing up in the United States at the time?
It was definitely a culture shock. It was very different. I remember going to school and not knowing English because we didn't learn it in Bulgaria. And so people would ask me, "What's your name?" And I'd be like, "What are you saying?"
you were like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then
That's what he said.
Danny was just silent because he was really scared. But yeah, it's very different. We were put in an ESL program, English, ELS,
English language learners.
Yes. And that kind of helped us to just learn the language, get more integrated into the culture. Yeah.
So did your family have any other struggles when they came in the United States? Like anything in particular that stood out?
Like moving here or like before?
Oh, anything with it.
Well, like financially, I know it's never been like easy for us. That's part of the reason we also moved. My dad was just struggling with his job, so yeah, coming here, we were able. Actually, the way it works is when you immigrate, you have to be invited over by family. You can't just come. Like you have to have an invitation with a family that's gonna say they're gonna support you and give you a job and provide for you while you step on your feet. So we moved in with his family who gave us a job, and yeah, so just the beginning, it was just a lot of figuring things out.
Yeah, definitely for me, food was just very different. I remember seeing people eat sweet and salty together, and I just thought that was disgusting. Like, and then having fruit in their salad, I was like, ew. But now I do that all the time. And then also, even up to middle school, people would say different slang words that I was not aware of, and I'd ask them and be like, what does that mean? Like, what are you saying? And they would just laugh at me and be like, how do you not know what that means? And I'm like, well, I did not grow up here like you, so that was just definitely getting used to listening to people and knowing exactly what everything means. And me being an SOS leader this year, I had a global student who actually is from Taiwan, and she said how it was very difficult for her to integrate into the culture as well. And just like how little things like food, what to wear, how much money to spend on things, like she didn't know she was spending too much on something. And so different things like that I could definitely relate to as well with her.
How about you, Danny?
For me, just the culture in general of coming from like country that wasn't always like a very different culture. Like in our home, we were raised without cable television or At one point we didn't have internet, and it was just something that seems weird to a lot of Americans, just growing up without television. And for us, like we're a little bit like learning the culture and like people's jokes and the way people interact, is just sometimes being kind of not understanding or not being able to fit into a conversation. So it's been an adjustment. Yeah.
I'd say we're definitely
culture.
Yeah, we're pretty adjusted right now.
Like I said.
You and I did that.
No, I wasn't, but like when I actually talk, it's just like, you know, you don't have to make it feel wing, like.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay.
So now.